Bush and his people are operating on this whole new theory, which has never really been tested in American history, that a president can continue. It's almost like exerting power from beyond the grave. I mean, here is someone who has no constitutional authority anymore, basically telling the government that you cannot touch people who served in my administration.
So in your words, is Obama already protecting Bush? Go ahead.
Excuse me?
Clearly it looks like Obama is going to protect Bush.
I don't know. I don't know. All I'm saying is that I don't think Obama will expend a lot of political capital to fight. Say if Congress comes up with a commission, which is what this guy Steve Cohn, who's a congressman from Memphis, Tennessee, is talking about. They're going to file a bill, and they're going to try to set up a commission whose purpose is to investigate and perhaps prosecute the crimes of the Bush administration. We'll see how far that goes.
Absolutely.
I think it's worth looking at Steve Cohn, though. I saw him on TV last week, and I've got to say the guy's a straight shooter. And I don't think John Conyers, it's going to come through the Judiciary Committee, and I don't see John Conyers stopping it.
All right, we're going to get Congressman Cohn on the show then if he'll do it. Congressman Dan Hamburg, thank you so much for all your time, and get better from that cold. We'll talk to you soon as this unfolds.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll be right back with your phone calls, a ton of news, and a lot more. We're simulcasting live.
Do you understand how dark it is? How far down the line we are? How late it is?
Steve in California, you're on the air. Welcome.
God bless you, Alex. You're doing the Lord's work.
Thank you.
Hey, I just have 2 points of interest to make, if I can.
Sure.
First one is, here in California, we're suffering a budget crisis. And I just wish that, more Californians would wake up and find out about the comprehensive annual financial reports that they have, that they force them to take their money out of their offshore bank accounts and balance the budget and not force us to pay any more taxes.
That's right. For those that don't know, the Pentagon that took over the U.S. in 1947, now publicly taken over, they're the receiver arm for the foreign banks. They took the Chicago mobs model they'd had for decades called Chicago 1313, where they took on average about 65%. Now it's up to almost 80. It's like 67% on average nationally. And they take city, county, water district, school district money. It's put into a double set of books, not for pension investments, but separately. And then all they were talking about is the budget instead of talking about the real set of books. And every county, city, state, every federal agency has one. And the bankers use that money to then buy up infrastructure. But now, so they don't have to pay the counties and cities the money back, they're bankrupting the shell corporations. These big banks, these big brokerage firms, they were the fronts telling the cities and counties, invest here, we'll pay off your politicians later. It's totally criminal, but it's totally legal. And no one will talk about it. But I made a film about it. But all the documents are public. Just Google Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, and you can read it. And then they have to blow out all the big corporations. People see those falling, and they think the elite's really in trouble. Just like Enron, they've already moved all the real assets and cash out the back door. It's the globalists. They're money laundering, drug dealing bankers who literally own the printing presses that issue the money, and you write your IRS check to them. It's to the Federal Reserve. Was that your point? Do you have one more?
I got one more.
One more, straight ahead when we come back. Fourth hour. See, how this works is the global engineers, they're in control because they're smart. They're just totally ruthless and criminal. We're a bunch of naive sheep. What they do is they have unfunded mandates, federal laws on the states and the counties and the cities with regulations and control. That ups the huge budgets of the states. Then they get the states, the counties, the cities, every other governmental and quasi-governmental district to invest in offshore investments. And the lie was then they'll just take the profit from those and put them in budget. But they never do. Then the cities in the last few years, they started in Orange County. And then with the state investment fund about 5 years ago, they said, we want your money. And they said, you can't have it. And that's really one of the things that started things imploding, but that was by design. And now they're going to get the money out, and it's gone. Now that they're way over budget, they want some of the comprehensive annual financial report mafia, books, and they're saying it isn't there for you. You don't get it because the market's gone down. These companies are insolvent. The banks and brokerage firms and investment houses won't say how much money they've got. Government won't make them show it. They're the ones talking about more regulation to fix it, but they're the banks that are above regulation. They don't follow the same rules. They don't pay taxes. They do whatever they want. You can read news articles every day about top companies paying no taxes or 1% taxes, and no one enforces. Madoff, for decades they knew it was a Ponzi scheme, but he started the stock exchange, NASDAQ. So these guys don't play by the rules, folks. No one's looking at them. This is their big heist. And the police state you see is to stop you from rightfully going and taking your government over through elections or physically and bringing them to justice. The only thing that can stop them is the people, and Northcom is here to stop the people. Northcom's here to destroy America and bring down the republic. And I can bring Ron Paul on. I can bring Congressman Hamburg on. I can bring Senator Inhofe on here. I can bring them all on to tell you we're under Northcom martial law. And those top generals, getting multi-million-dollar golden parachutes when they retire, and the defense contractors, you got all the low-level troops that think they're patriotic. It's a corporate takeover. You don't work for us anymore. I'm not your enemy. But let's not play games about who you're working for. Going back to Steve in California, I had one more question, then I'm going to everybody else.
Yeah, it was a point of interest I wanted to make. I don't know if you know this, but here in Southern California, we have the Magna Carta on display at the Ronald Reagan Library, and it kind of alarmed me when I found that out last month. If the New World Order wanted to stage an attack, for a pretext for many other actions.
I believe there's 3 copies of the Magna Carta, like there were 10 copies of the Declaration of Independence.
Right, but for symbolism, state, if they wanted to stage an attack, they could get rid of the document, destroy it, and have some kind of
for those that don't know, the Magna Carta is what the Bill of Rights and Constitution comes out of from 1215 and Runnymede. And the first thing Blair did when he got in office in 97, 96 was to say, I am getting rid of the Magna Carta. And the public was so dumbed down, liquored up in England. I mean, they admit most alcoholic state in the world, just as decadent as the Americans. They're like, screw it, get rid of it. Now the police are on the street going, terrorism, if you photograph us. You're not allowed to videotape us beating somebody. We're going to charge you as a terrorist. Now they're busy stealing people's property. They have cameras in all the schools' bathrooms as the children use the bathroom. That was in the news today, and the school said, what's the big deal? So we videotape our children, and now schools here in the U.S. putting cameras in bathrooms everywhere. That's 1984. Very interesting point about the Magna Carta. Very, very interesting. Oh, something else? Go ahead.
I just want to say you're in my prayers, and keep fighting New World Order.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's only your prayers that keep us going here. That's why I dedicate so much time to this. Not because I'm even some wonderful, good guy. I mean, I am a good guy overall, but I'm worldly as well. I am here doing this because I know that no matter what the risk to myself, the cost of doing nothing is too high to my family and my fellow humanity. Because I know what happens to others will happen to myself or my children or their great-grandchildren. And I just love humanity. I just like good guys, creative people. I love honorable people. I hate scum. I hate traitors. I hate bullies. And let me tell you, filthy, disgusting, criminal bullies are in control of our society, and they got a giant spin machine trying to cover for them, but it's not going to work if you stop them.
This is the shipping version of the Liberty unit. It's the basic unit that we work with. It consists of 14 cases and a pail of sprouting seeds and a sprouter. Extremely well balanced, and this is the one that we adjust for special dietary needs, like diabetics and people with gluten intolerances. Also, those who are concerned about not having any soy products or textured vegetable protein, this is the unit that we adjust for special needs. All of these one-year supplies are extremely well balanced. They have all the fruits and vegetables and dairy products, everything that you need for a normal diet, and it fits most people. But if you have special needs, if you're a vegan, or if you're a diabetic, or have gluten intolerances, please call us directly and we'll be able to adjust your unit to fit what you need. The 800 number is 800-810-4441. and that will get our administrative office, and we'll help you as best we can.